Hey everybody, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. I'm Amanda, and today I'm going to share with you some more mommy related stuff. I received a question the other day from one of my subscribers, and they were asking me what our co-sleeping situation is like, how we keep it safe with a 16-month-old. So I thought I would just elaborate a little bit further as to why we chose to co-sleep, how we kind of ended up in this place, and how it's working for us now with Esme being 16 months old. So I will premise this by just saying that I did not anticipate that we would be in this situation at 16 months, still sleeping together. Look, I never really thought that we would be here, to be perfectly honest. So what I'm learning as I go along in this land of parenting is that there comes a point where you just start making decisions that are best suited for your family. And as much as books will tell you to do one thing, or family members or friends are doing other things, like, at the end of the day, you ultimately do what's right for you and yours. And I think that that decision, like taking that approach, is always the best approach. So what I'm about to share with you is rather unconventional, I'm certain, with many families, especially in the West, considering that in the West, it's more customary to bring a baby home from the hospital and place them into their own bed, and they stay in their own bed, generally in their own rooms, from the get-go. Now, of course, I'm living in the East. When I share with people, like moms at my playgroup or something, I kind of like make a joke and say that I'm very like Asian style, because we kind of are. Like in Asia, it's customary for families to sleep together in the same bed. Like, I'm not talking 16-year-old children, I'm talking about like young kids. So when you come home from the hospital, after you've had your baby, generally the baby is in the bed with the parents, and it stays like that for the first few years of life. I'll just share with you what it's like right now, because I don't want to get too rambly, because y'all know I can ramble. Brought her home from the hospital. Esme slept like in a co-sleeper in the middle of us, like in the bed. It was kind of like this co-sleeping thing. It had these little railings. I'm sure you've seen them. I think it's made by the company First Years. When she started to be able to latch by herself to breastfeed and was like a sturdier baby, not so brand newbie, then we sort of abandoned the co-sleeping thing, and she ended up just like sleeping in the bed with us. Now, this wasn't like a conscious decision. She was in the bassinet. I had her sleeping in the crib, in our room, of course. I had her sleeping in the crib, and then it just got to a point, like I want to say around, like where we really started to notice that she just was in the bed with us all the time, was probably around 4 months. So at around 4 months, I started to like put her in her crib to sleep to start the night, and then when she would wake up for her feeding, when I would go to bed, I would take her out of her crib, put her in the bed with me, and I remember when I mastered the art of breastfeeding laying down. Hallelujah. That was a good freaking day. So then we started, like she would breastfeed and then we would both fall asleep. And it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm just going to sleep in here. It just sort of happened naturally. Like I didn't force the issue or whatever. So I think probably around, she didn't really start crawling till about 8 months. So I would say just before 8 months. So like 7 months is when we became like full-fledged hippies and we put the mattress on the floor. So our beautiful 4-poster bed is like sitting in some room collecting dust. Anyways, there will be a day when I sleep on a bed off the floor. Basically, my bed setup, I would show you, except my daughter's asleep, so that ain't gonna happen. But our mattress is on the floor and it is pushed into the corner of the room. And then I purchased those really big foam squares. Like they're probably like that big. Like, get it? Huge foam squares, about that thick or so, and they, they interlock kind of thing. So how I have it is the bed is in the corner of the room, and then there's like obviously like 2 walls, right? Because that's a corner. You know what I'm saying? That's a corner, and then the mattress is like this. So on the wall sides of the bed, I have these foam squares like tucked in, so that if she like gets up in the night and kind of like gets all drunk and kind of bangs her head against the wall or something, she's not going to hurt herself. Then I have those same foam squares, so the big ones again, the foam squares on the floor on the outside of the bed. So basically all corners of the bed are padded. Our bedroom is super childproof. There is really nothing that she can get into. Like there's, a side table and this and that, but she hasn't really, it's been there since the whole time, so it's not something that she's interested in, and she hasn't showed any interest in like climbing on top of it yet. I'll just start with bedtime. So when we're getting ready for bed, we have our bath, we have our book, we start to wind down from the day, we crawl into the bed, and then I will breastfeed her, and generally she'll fall asleep. If she doesn't fall asleep, she kind of just plays around and reads a book or so, and I just lay on the bed waiting for her. I put her to bed, and it can take anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, to be perfectly honest. Like, I want to be honest with you people, because I know that choosing to parent your children in this way is not like the easiest of methods. I give you that much, okay? So I'm also not claiming to be a martyr of any kind. It's just what we've done, and I feel like it's too late to do anything different. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I put her to bed, I breastfeed her, generally she'll fall asleep. And then I leave her. I leave the room. I don't worry that she's gonna fall off the bed. If she does fall, it's like the size of a mattress, right? She's big enough now that she's walking, she can kind of get herself out of trouble. I do have a monitor, not a video monitor, just a regular baby monitor, and generally she will wake up anywhere from 40 minutes to 2 hours after the initial put down. She cries a little bit, at which point I go back into the room and I breastfeed her back to sleep. Then she will breastfeed anywhere from 2 to maybe 3 times a night, depending on, or maybe more, there are days where there's more, depending on whether or not she is teething or what's going on, you know? She gets up for the day around 7:30, and because she's so accustomed to sleeping in the bed with me, like she might just kind of wake up slow and, you know, kick her feet in the air, start talking, or she might get out of bed and grab a book. Like we have some books in the room, and she sort of entertains herself until I come to, you know, out of zombie land and I'm like alive for the day. And then for nap time, it's essentially the same thing. The thing about nap time is generally she's so tired she falls asleep like instantly. So that's I never have to like wait for her to get tired or fall asleep. So nap time, anywhere between 12 and 1:30 or so. I say, do you want to have some yum yum? And we go lay down and she breastfeeds, falls straight asleep. And the same process, anywhere between 40 minutes to 1 hour. She wakes up, and when she wakes up, she doesn't move about. Like she wakes up, she's sleepy, right? She's kind of groggy. She cries a bit. I immediately go in, like I don't let her cry. I'm just not a fan of the cry it out method. I'm not even really a fan of the controlled crying method. Like it's just, my heart cannot take it. Again, I'm not going to judge it if you do, but for me personally, it's not an option for us. So she just cries for like a second or two. I go in the bed, I breastfeed her generally back to sleep, or else we decide it's up for the day, like kind of gauge it. You know, how is she doing? Is she awake or is she still really sleepy? I will say that sometimes people assume that if you have like a co-sleeping situation that you don't have a schedule. I like run my life by schedules. So that is our co-sleeping situation. Like it's really simple. Reasons why we continue to keep up our co-sleeping is that we find that it's very beneficial for Esme. Like she is an extremely well-balanced, confident, secure little girl. And I feel like a huge part of that is because we are always together. Like she always feels safe and comforted. I feel like there might be some really good debate about what's best for your child, but all I can speak about is mine, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this video is becoming a bit of a rambly one because it's hard to separate like the co-sleeping concept with our schedule. So I hope I outlined what our schedule is for anyone that's curious, and if you are considering co-sleeping with your baby, then this might give you a bit of a guideline. What I will say is that there are a whole bunch of reasons as to why you will want or you would want to co-sleep with your children. And there's so many different ways to do it. Like you can have mom and dad in the bed, you can have just mom in the bed, you can switch out mom and have sometimes dad in the bed with the baby. With us, because we're continuing to breastfeed, like I wouldn't actually be able to even consider continuing to breastfeed at night if we weren't sharing a bed. Do you know what I mean? It's like I could not even imagine having to get up out of bed, take her out of a crib, breastfeed her, put her back in. Like no way. And a part of me thinks on the other side of that the reason that we're still continuing to breastfeed throughout the night is because we're in the bed together. So at this point in time, I don't have a set time frame that I'd like to put her into her own bed. That said, it's coming. Like I know we're not going to be sharing a bed forever. It's coming. It's just a matter of like she's not ready yet, and I'm not ready to like upset the whole situation we got going on right now. We're all sleeping, we're all getting rest, and we have a happy family as a result of that. So like I said at the beginning of this video, at the end of the day, as a parent, as a family, you have to do what's right for you and yours. And I think that if you can do that and follow your own path that way, then it ultimately is the best parenting decision you can make. I hope this helps. I hope it's not too rambly. It's just one of those videos that's like sharing what we do, and I always feel a little bit weird doing that because I'm like, it's not saying that you should do this. I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, but it's just what we do. So that is it, my friends. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button. And if you'd like, add us on Facebook. I'll put the link below, and I will also put our Instagram link because I love me some Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.